Now we are live.
Oye, oye, oye! This session of the Hosp report come to order. Why? What? So I'm here with two band guys. Why are you two so angry? Why can't you follow the rules? What's the matter with you? Didn't your parents raise you right?
I'll let German band answer that first.
Well, I didn't actually expect that question, so I don't know what to say about that. I mean, it's not that. Well, I think John should go first. I'll organize my thoughts here, and then I get back to you.
You just got hosped.
yeah, that wasn't a serious question, Ben. The answer is no. There's nothing wrong with me, especially when it comes to.
There's nothing. Yeah, the correct answer is there's nothing wrong with me. There's something wrong with the universe.
Yeah. So we also got to preface this show as this was supposed to be on last night when we were all fired up on. I don't know about you guys, but I was fired up on PBR and allergy medicine. So we're going to have to apologize for the quality is not. We don't have the energy is not going to be what it was last night when we got breaking news less than an hour before we were supposed to start last night that everything it's a fake. Everything was a lie. Yeah, Ben, you want to break the this is the Hosp report. You want to break the news from a high ranking member of the moderation team?
Do not tolerate. You can let people skulk in the shadows if you want on the discard pile. On the Hosp report, we have very specific rules for anonymous sources, and it's whenever I feel like it, and I don't feel like it now. Brian Sykes is the name of the source.
Brian Sykes is Deep Throat.
Now that I actually read everything, I think we may have overhyped this, but the Rule 11 in the COC is not what was voted on for by the original mod team. He didn't tell us what it was. He didn't tell us what the original version that was actually voted on was, which is nice. So now we can just assume that whenever you get banned for something under Rule 11, that's the fake news rule. So you're just getting banned under the fake rule.
Yeah. So let's
yeah. Now you got to scroll up all your text because
no. No, I want to say I believe our source said the original one that was voted upon was a tone down.
Your source, you mean Mr. Brian Sykes of California, Maryland?
So before we were starting the show, I wrote down Rule 11 since that's what we were all getting rung up on, and it says basically no, you can't post a belittling, disparaging, denigrating, harassing, threatening, bullying, or cruel, and if you're then the whole reasonable bystander nonsense, that's a separate thing. So I would say this is a social justice warriors paradise.
It's about any like subgroup of people, which I don't mean to interrupt, but I've pointed out that you know Congress is a bunch of clowns, and I think those ISIS characters are up to no good. Are technically not allowed under Rule 11. Now, obviously, Congress is a bunch of clowns. Is now. That gets you sent into the phantom zone, but
the Quarks bar.
I think that
So I had all this stuff written down, and I was gonna get into it like with the words, but then it turns out it was all Sykes totally I could rip it up because they voted on a toned down, not an extreme version of this, and then they go ahead and Iron Mike, who was the original head moderator, posted something that they didn't vote on what they wanted it to be. So they didn't like what the moderator teams, because back then I think there was five of them or six, and that's that. So yeah, it's all bullshit. It was all and then Iron Mike resigned when he basically his resignation letter was I couldn't do what they wanted me to do, which was get rid of some people and masculinity and tribalism.
Which people was that? Which people was that?
What's that?
Which people was that he couldn't get rid of? That's why he wanted the job.
I don't. Names weren't mentioned, but of course, there was. Come on, we all. I think it was 4 years, 3.5 years. It's been in place, and we all know what it was. It's all. I mean, so it's all bullshit.
Say
these
sugar
words
tips again.
don't mean. Yeah, these words don't mean what they think they mean in their social justice warrior paradise. Because I remember on the discard pile, Charlie didn't even know what the word disparagement meant. And I'm not saying everyone's, I don't know. Come on, I'm a monkey junkie with a monkey. I don't know what all these, but so like even Ben, the word harass means subject to aggressive pressure. So you've been harassed. You're the only one who's not banned, but you've been harassing the shit out of people for the last, I don't know, since for the last month. So why aren't you banned, Ben? Why are you a bad person? Why weren't you raised right?
I use long words. I use words with 4 or more syllables a lot of the time when I harass people. And if you're smart when you do it, if people if you seem like you know what you're talking about, like you've been to college or something, then it's hard to ban you.
Yeah,
well, that's when you get into the word
job. That's that one long word.
Oh, what?
Sorry, Ben, I didn't catch that.
I said when he said Ross is bad at his job, those are not long words.
Well,
yeah, that's pretty blunt.
Watch this. This is you might not know this trick in English, but watch this. Yeah, but still. If do right, no can defend.
Well, yeah, I think Ben also got banned. Now we're getting. I got banned for you're belittling somebody, which means make something or someone feel unimportant. And I'm going to do another what about, since we're going to, we're being pushed into a corner. If you could say, someone asked, why do we have a triples art, whatever, and the person got defensive and said, feel free to keep pulling at strings until you find something. I'm sorry, but that's saying you're telling someone they're wasting their time. That's belittling. So you can't. This is, at least we pretend in America that Lady Justice is blind. We know, money can buy anything, but just like this, you can't be enforced fairly, because the people who are on the bad, you're getting into the otherism. People who are on the bad ones, they're held to a different standard than everybody else. So it's not a fair system.
Yeah, that's my sarcastic answer aside. The reason why I can say shit about people that you guys can't get away with sometimes, anyway, is that before about a month, before about a couple months ago, I was one of the good ones. that transition maybe in flux right now, but like I'm not a crazy angry guy. I can BenHosp is just BenHosp. He's not a bad guy. He said a nice thing once.
Yes, and then once you started defending people,
well,
you get lumped into a different category.
When I got banned for calling people incels, so that might you know what, I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, no one's saying
that works really well with the Rule 11 thing, because Rule 11 basically says if you want to be in this place, if you want to hang out here, leave your balls at the door.
Yeah, I'd say you gotta play by our rules. It all goes to free speech, and we all say, oh, that's just the government can't punish you for what you say. And then, well, yeah, but it's a concept before that. And free speech is how a free society reorganizes tyrannical hierarchies. And I know saying the CC's a tyrannical hierarchy is a little excessive.
Well, I called them Nazis a few days ago. So
yeah, but that's the mechanism to reorganize hierarchies that do not work. And the CC is obviously a hierarchy that does not work. And how are you going to stop people from saying bad? So now we're getting to the point where they're banning people for just speaking their mind in a period of review. So it's doomed to fail. Why, I don't, there's no solution. Now that we find out it's all bullshit. It was just, an Australian and somebody else just wanting to, their social justice utopia. It's got to get changed.
See, now this is your what Sykes said is that the rule that was posted was not the version they voted on, but he thinks it wouldn't have actually applied to it, like the part where you get banned for calling them the Seattle sociopaths. I think he's implying is it would have been not allowed under the original rule. But the point of this is that if we're taking the rules seriously, if we're taking the rules that they made seriously, because remember, it wasn't enough to just say, John, can you really quit being a dick? We had to do type for 3 years, type up rules. If we're taking the rules seriously, then Rule 11 is not a duly adopted and approved part of the COC, and they need to do it again.
Yes.
And I think that, well, first of all, they don't have a voting quorum to approve anything because they have one moderator who actually comes to work. But but let's assume that someone gives Sykes a cup of coffee to approve another rule, and so they I think that the version of the rule that they want would not get approved today.
Oh, they want more. There's people proposing more. People want a heavier hand when it comes to this. And then what
right?
But
that guy, right? But that guy's Austrian, and I think he might be autistic.
But all right, so maybe Big Ben can answer the question. What's the end game? What is it? Just people who don't or disagreeable or aggressive or blunt and forthright with their opinions. We have to be gone. That's it. That's their game, right? They have to go.
Yep, but the rest of them will go with us, because if there's nobody there who actually counters them every once in a while, or speaks his mind, or reminds them that not everything they're doing is great, then everybody keeps doing their shit. Nobody actually tells anybody that he's not that he's not good at his job. Then everybody keeps doing his shit, and all of this thing goes to hell.
Yeah, how many period of reviews have we watched now that just turn into backslapping and softball questions? And on top of that, I mean, it's laughable because in the period of review threads, it's the vice chairperson asking not to the green badges not to debate these questions yet, and then they're all doing it. The organized play guy.
That's because the riot broke out just immediately. Everyone's mad enough of us are just mad this year that there was just no there was just no holding it back.
That's what the actual period of a review is for. I mean, if you look at organizations or companies that do these once in a year reviews with their employees or with their people, they invite people and let people ask those questions, instead of what we're doing is where we send in these questions and then have a moderator ask these questions to the people, and then there's never any follow-up on those questions if they don't get answered in the way they want them to be answered. So what they should do, I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say I'm probably not going to be asked back as a PoR moderator this year, but it's only after I watched myself doing it last year is that I realized how fucking boring these things actually are. I mean, that's why nobody watches them and nobody really cares for them. So I think what they should actually do is they should do a public hangout, let people come on and let people ask their questions to the respective green badges that are on there.
Or just do it on the forum. Like part of part of what's so weird about this is that Charlie is just not on these threads, and everyone is arguing with everyone but Maggie and Charlie.
Yeah.
Well, even the department heads they get defensive. They're not following the rules that their boss set out for them, you know. And people are, there's a group of people who are fed up with fake ass period of reviews, and you know, I just don't think. And then I know there's also another part of the group. There's always the ostriches who want to bury their head in the sand, and they're like, oh, why we gotta keep bringing up old shit all the time?
Like, why are you complaining about everything all the time, John? Yeah, exactly. Let's get back to my original question that no one ever fucking answered. Why are you always complaining about everything all the time, John? Why isn't everything good? Why are there so many problems that are your fault because you keep saying there's problems? Why are you summoning these problems into existence? Like you said Beetlejuice 3 times. You said problems 3 times.
You're always going to have. Why? Because I'm the only, not the only. I'm the most disagreeable person in a nerd community, and but even now there's backlash against the face that runs the place. They think there's a small group of there's the anti-mob establishment who just want to wave their continuing committee flags, and and
I did notice that what I assume is mainly the 3 of us are the mob that runs everything. And I have a different definition. This actually gets into I'm gonna start generalizing about politics and about Trump supporters now, because this is the thing that even when like Republicans have run everything for the past 2 years, right, in the United States, but they're not happy because liberals keep yelling at them. And so it feels like they're not in charge. And so on the forums, we have no power. We just yell, and then we break the rules and get banned. And then we get ignored, and then like maybe years later someone admits that something you were complaining about was right and grudgingly makes a change. That's not what being in charge looks like. Being in charge is like you say something and then it happens, and that's a pretty quick turnaround on that.
Yeah. So when you're a disgruntled Star Trek card player, most of the year you're told to shut up and wait till the period of review, and then the period of review comes, and then you voice your opinion. And then you're told you're banned for how you voiced your opinion. And then you have some other people who are part of the CC who say, why we got to bring up old shit?
And Alan, why can't we? And Alan tells me that I didn't read what he said, when that's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
Although he didn't. Although in fairness, he's not the one that told me to wait for the period of review. So he might be like, why didn't you bring this up back then? Like,
so if you want a recipe on how to create an angry mob, there it is. Shut up, or wait till your time to talk. Well, don't talk like that. And then you got other people like, why don't you just shut the fuck up? We don't want to hear about this.
Especially the thing I'm complaining about, like a specific terrible decision of Ross's, and a specific instance of really fucking over a hardworking volunteer.
Well,
it was less than 2 months ago, and it's not like I'm going back to February and saying, "Hey, something happened in February that everyone's forgot about," but
yeah,
I'm bringing it up. Like this is like.
Let me explain why it's all bullshit. Because why is Rule 11 in place, right? Why can't everyone be kind to each other? Why can't everyone be treated with dignity? But if you don't follow the rules, you can be treated without dignity, and it's okay. And I'm being a little bit of a crybaby. That's fun, because I didn't bring it up on the discard pile because I'm actually still kind of angry about that. It's there on their side of the coin. Dignity is earned. These aren't good people that we're dealing with here. When it's, if you're on the outside, if you're an other, if you don't play by the rules, if you're in a different tribe, you don't get afforded the same respect and dignity as everyone else should. And You know, so there's no moral high ground.
If I can just interject here, I mean, it's not that they're not good people, but they're completely non-confrontational people. They don't know how to deal. They don't know how to deal with confronting you with a decision of theirs, and they don't want that confrontation. So that's how they operate, and that's how the boards are operated. Is please don't confront us with anything.
Yeah, but that's not that.
We don't know how to deal with confrontation, and so let's just all be, rainbows and unicorns, and please let's run away from confrontation. And they don't know how to deal with that.
Yeah, but after the fact, they still thought it was okay to denigrate, belittle in an article on the front page that was never done in history. Why was that okay? Because that
was the way out of there, because he didn't have to say it to your face.
We also did demand an explanation, and then this is it's a little it's a little more complicated. We demand an explanation, and then we're mad that he explained it. Why isn't that? Why aren't we assholes for doing that?
What, for demanding an explanation? But it wasn't even an honest one, or
right.
Ben's trying to not tell people that they're shitty, but they're shitty people.
No,
I'm sorry.
I'm asking rhetorical questions for you.
No, I know, but yeah, when you're not honest and you're not forthright, and you treat people who you don't agree with or make you angry without the respect you would afford everyone. You're dealing with hypocrites here. I don't want to deal with people who think dignity has to be earned. That's not even in all the threads where people have left their jobs. I've never posted on those. I never say, good job, thanks. Don't let the doorknob hit you on the ass. I mean, yeah, I battle people. I disagree with them, but you don't shit on them on the way out in a volunteer organization.
I think you might have shit on Ken Tufts on the way out a little bit.
No, go find his fire or resignation thread. I haven't said except for the day he poked me in the eye. I haven't said a bad word about Ken Tufts.
I think maybe you have, but okay.
You assume the worst, like everyone does. Well, that's it, Ben. You can wrap up your show unless you got anything else.
Oh, is that it? Is that all?
Well, you got to rage against the machine, folks. You got to change Rule 11. We found out it's all bullshit, and unless you're trying to create your social justice paradise where
the Dent Act is fake. We have to storm Blackgate Prison, or however that movie goes.
All right. Well, I'm going to adjourn this Communist Revolutionary Party meeting. I'll see you all at the book.
This trial is adjourned.